Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Hart. I am the online editor with Labels and Labeling Magazine, and today I am here with Beth Smith. So if you'd like to tell us who you are, what you do, and we will get on rolling.
Hey Jordan, I'm Beth Smith and I'm the new CEO at StickerGiant and just thrilled to be here with you to talk about all sorts of things.
I'm very excited. So the first question is how I ask everybody, how did you get into the label industry?
Oh my goodness, I think I'm like most people, well, many people, right? The label industry wasn't top of mind for me for a career. Um, and I started my career in transportation. I worked at UPS for a long time,
Okay.
both on the small package side, and then I moved over into the freight side, UPS Freight. And I've worked for some small companies and big companies. And prior to Sticker Giant, I worked at a technology company and I got laid off after 5 years.
Oh,
And yeah, uh, and I wanted to stay in the business world, but I wanted to do something fun, was what I kept saying. I want to be in something fun.
obviously
The
labels were top of mind.
uh, Right. But I mean, really, like if you look at Sticker Giant online, the first time that I saw a job opportunity for a COO at Sticker Giant, literally my jaw dropped and I was like one, what's going on here? Who is this company? And two, like they're right in my backyard. I live in Boulder, and Sticker Giant is in Longmont, just the next town over. So when I started researching Sticker Giant, I just was like, oh my goodness, like literally out loud, I said, I think I have to work there. No manufacturing background and no labeling background. And here I am.
I would encourage everyone watching this, go check out Sticker Giant's website. It is very fun. There are recipes, there are gifts, there's a sticker ball that we'll talk about later. It's very engaging
Yep.
content.
Yep. There's all kinds of content.
So let's talk a little bit about that because Sticker Giant
Yep.
does have a pretty unique culture and you are now in charge. So that's a pretty big deal. So let's break down what makes Sticker Giant so special.
Oh, yeah. Well, from the early days, John Fisher, our founder, culture really mattered to him, and people really mattered. So, all the way back to the early days when he started Sticker Giant as a retail store, and it wasn't a custom sticker or label company at that time. Um, John had some business advisors that let him know about Zing Train up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and that's Ari Weinswag and the work he does there through Zingerman's Deli. So there's a lot of things alive and well at Sticker Giants culture that come from Zing Train. The other thing that John put in motion was the great game of business, runs something called Open Book Management, and we are a transparent financial organization. And then lastly, one of the things is entrepreneurial operating system, which is Gino Wickman's work, and we have leveraged a lot of EOS and how the structure of the company really is keeping pace with our growth. Um, our three core values are all in for the greater good, grow and learn, and positive energy. So those are the things that help us guide our culture. And then we have what we call three guideposts. We like the number three, I think.
Yeah,
Uh, and our three guideposts are happy, healthy giants, delighted customers, profitable company. So those are the things we go back to again and again when we're making decisions and we're helping to guide the culture that are really important. But, culture is an ever evolving thing. And especially when we're growing really quickly. I was employee number 47
out of how
on
many
Monday.
now?
On Monday, I think will be 115.
Okay.
So when you're in a sustained growth period and you value culture, what's really important is that you see that each person you're adding to the ecosystem, is the way we think of our culture, that each person you add is either a light within the culture or a detractor, right? So if you
Right.
think about
Nobody's
um,
neutral in this.
exactly, exactly. And we've been so fortunate. Our hiring processes have really helped us make sure that we're getting folks that are all in for the greater good, want to grow and learn, and really keep their energy positive. So we've been really, really fortunate there. And we've had to evolve the culture quite a lot too, from when I started at 47 now to well over 100 folks. that takes work, and it takes a real dedication and commitment. We really want our giants, which we call each other as employees, we want our giants helping share what they see as our values, how they language it, rather than it being some sort of like, this is our values and you have to live the values. We really see it as all of us contributing collectively. And that collective culture helps our purpose is to be a good company to work for. So our purpose doesn't even anchor what our business actually is. We provide custom stickers and promotional or custom labels and promotional stickers. But really, in the end, we want to be a really good company to work for no matter what we're making.
Yeah, I mean this in the best way possible, but it seems like stickers are such a small part of what Sticker Giant is.
Yes, actually, we kind of joke around that our product mix certainly during COVID at its peak, right? Stickers declined certainly during COVID.
Okay.
They they didn't grow. Our label business grew significantly, like
Yeah.
70% year over year growth. So we joke around a bit by saying, oh my goodness, we're probably more label giant than we are sticker giant. But in the industry, we're a bit of a unicorn, and our customers actually refer to their labels because they're smaller customers as stickers.
Stickers, yeah, which is a
So
bit controversial these days.
it is a bit controversial. So yeah, so our customers actually refer to their labels as stickers, and certainly being Sticker Giant is probably helping them come up with
Yeah,
that naming convention too. But yeah, it's yeah, we're just so fortunate to be in an industry that continues to grow, whether our customers are ordering promotional stickers from us or product labels.
absolutely. So one thing that's a bit unique about your new position is you identify as non-binary. So I haven't checked, but I would wager you are the first non-binary CEO in the sticker label industry, which
That I had.
very
Oh,
exciting.
thank you, Jordan. I hadn't thought about being the first to that, but that might be true. Yeah, so I am female bodied, so I'll just define a little bit for
That's
listeners, right,
my
around
next
what is
question.
non-binary.
Let's give an
Yeah,
educational moment here.
thank you. Uh, I am non-binary, which means that I am not in the binary of gender, male or female. I'm certainly female-bodied, but not particularly female identified. So I live in that in-between spot around gender, and that is about how I feel and experience my body. Right? It's not about who I'm attracted to. I'm also gay, so I am same-sex attracted, but I'm gender non-binary. The one thing I always say when I talk about this is I'm really open to talking about this, but not all non binary people are. So always ask the question. And thank you, Jordan, for setting us up here to be successful in this discussion, even before we got on today, that I'm really open to talking about and helping folks understand.
So how do you like people to refer to you then?
Yeah, my pronouns are they, she. So I prefer a gender neutral pronoun, they, which is confusing, especially for my friends that are very grammar geeky. And the grammar police kind of that breaks people's brains. And because I'm female bodied, my second pronoun choice is she, but I do prefer a gender neutral. Using they, them, theirs is a new thing for folks. Now, we may get into this or not, but I'm a meditation and mindful awareness teacher as well,
Ooh,
and the way our brains work is really interesting around this topic around being non-binary and using gender-neutral pronouns. Our brain makes neuro connections, and the synapses actually connect. So when we talk about pronouns, when you use him and his, or she and hers, you already have a connection in your brain that is from when you're little and start to, well, I don't know if you're that little, but when you're small, right, and you start to learn language, those neurosynapses are connected. So when someone comes along and says, I prefer to be called they, them, theirs, our
it's new.
brains, our brains are like, whoa, what are we even talking about?
Right.
And people make mistakes because of those neurosynapses. So people will, it's called misgendering by pronouns, folks. And it's just a moment in time for me. Other people take that differently. For me to just to say, I would prefer you call me they. So I think it's all of us learning together.
Yeah.
Um,
Every day's
one
a
of
learning day.
every day's a learning day. And for me, I see it as a way we learn together. Other non-binary folks see that differently, but I'm okay around saying, hey, that's not really the way that I would prefer you refer to me. So a lot of room for us to learn together on this topic. And in an industry, right, in a manufacturing industry, particularly in labels, I think it's just really important to know that someone like me is willing to step forward and say, this is who I am really. Um, and that complements how I lead, how I think about things, and how I help all of our giants feel a place of safety, safe enough at work to be all of who you are.
Absolutely. And I think kind of what you said, zooming out, people view labels as, and I think probably manufacturing as a whole, as a little more male dominated, a little more traditional, and having not only a very, I guess, very visible person in the industry as non-binary, and let alone a CEO, that shows that that's changing, which is really exciting to see.
Yeah. Well, and I'll track it all back to John Fisher, our founder at Sticker Giant. When I started interviewing, right, I think we say it was an 8-month process, an 8-month interview process.
Oh, wow.
And I was really open with him. And he chose me to come in and help run Sticker Giant as the COO. And now as CEO, it takes a lot of courage from everybody, not just myself, to say, when we say that we appreciate individual expression at Sticker Giant, we have to show we mean it, right?
Put
It's
your
one
money
thing
where your
to
mouth
say
is.
it, right?
Absolutely.
So this really started, I came out probably about 8 months ago at Sticker Giant as non-binary, and it came out because after George Floyd's murder in the summer, we were putting together our active DEI and B plan. Now, we had it on an issues list, but we moved it. That's a EOS terminology. We knew we needed to do more around DEI and B, but we moved it to the front of what we were actively going to do. And Betsy Holmes is our director of people and culture at Sticker Giant. She and I
Oh,
were
I love
planning.
that title.
Yeah, and we were planning the announcement of our DEI and B plan, and it's called Giant Steps, by the way. So we like to play with the word giant a lot. And as we were preparing to talk with the company about initiating this project and these actions we were going to take to put really our passion and our values into action, I said to her, I was like, Betsy, I feel inauthentic. Like, here I am saying, we want to make an inclusive environment, and I'm actually not letting people know all of who I am. And Betsy's an ally. I've been out to Betsy, I think probably from week one when she joined Sticker Giant. And she's like, let's do this. So we put our plan together, and part of that announcement going out around what we were going to do in response to actively putting our values into motion started with me, and me saying, there's a part of me I haven't told you about. And I'm non-binary. And it was an amazing response from our giants to say, yeah, okay, and thank you for doing that. And thank you for creating a safe enough environment for other people to also be all of who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think as a compliment to you and to Sticker Giant, I think that shows. Like when you see the things that Sticker Giant has done, it is very authentic and very transparent. Like you and John did a talk. This was a while ago, but I saw it on YouTube about the 12 laws of business,
That's right.
and it's just such a good picture of what Sticker Giant is. I mean, you've got the gifts of your team, you've got the principles that you're guided by, but also this interactive Q&A with the audience, just showing your transparency. And I
Yeah.
just thought it was a beautiful representation of you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for bringing it. It's one of my favorite. John actually just reposted that on LinkedIn, and it is literally one of my favorite things that John and I have done together, because it just shows, like, John and I are just ourselves in front of, I think there were 30 or 40 people in that audience. And you get a glimpse into just John and me riffing and talking
Yeah.
about the 12 laws of business and the things we're passionate about and why we do what we do at Sticker Giant. And we had many giants in the audience. It was Longmont Startup Week was that talk. That was that week of talks, and we gave that 1 hour talk. So I appreciate you watching it.
Oh, of course, I thought it was very fun. But one of the things that you mentioned in that I want an update on. How is Saul the giant sticker wall?
Oh my goodness, Saul. He's still the giant sticker ball. He's bigger than ever.
Is he
But
still growing? Do you still add to him?
we do. But we did lose our Guinness World Book of record. I know
To
these things
who?
happen. I'm not gonna
Not
say.
gonna
You'll have to
name
go do your
names.
own I'm not naming names. But yeah, so Saul is still the largest sticker ball, but his reigning Guinness World Book of Records has yeah, we've seen a little activity there. So
Oh, shit.
I'll just say game on. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say.
We'll keep
And
updated.
anytime you make a record, you know somebody's going to come and work an angle, right? So
Sure.
it's just game on. That's all.
Love it. I'll check in on Salt next time we talk.
Awesome,
But
awesome.
what has, obviously, we've had a big change in the world. What has the pandemic been like for Sticker Giant? Because I know you guys did, tours of the facility, you did all kinds of things.
Yeah, lots of change, lots of disruption, lots of things we're proud of, and struggles. Like all of that in one sort of composite mix, I think is what's true. Yeah, we used to do weekly tours. We had a schedule for different giants would give those tours. One of the things we love to do. You could come in and visit Saul anytime. Saul's actually on the roadside attractions, so we would have just
Oh,
random families on summer vacations that would come by to say hi to Saul and take a picture. So certainly all of that ended. We started really early on our COVID planning and protocols, really early, like mid-March. We were publishing a document that talked about what we were doing and why we were doing it, put protocols in place for folks to stay home if they were symptomatic at all. And we've been paying people all this time to stay home if they're symptomatic. Even before there were tax credits and reimbursements for that, we were doing that. Um, we moved all of our CS team home, almost all of them, all of our marketing team, all of our art team, everyone that could work remotely pretty quickly moved home to do so. And our manufacturing team, oh my goodness, they have done an amazing job. Um, they had to pivot on labels,
yeah.
exponentially growing. We weren't necessarily prepared for that, and
I don't think anyone was.
they've done an amazing job. We right now we have three buildings. Two we're actively in, and the one building that we were originally in when I started is all now manufacturing. So we've moved everyone else out, trying to give our manufacturing team as much square footage as we can.
Are you all in the same location or are these different?
Thanks. Great question. They're all within walking distance. So two
Oh,
of the
that's
buildings
nice.
are right across the street. And then we just purchased a third building, which is down the street from us. And we gain access to that building the start of 2022. So
Nice.
there's been so much that's happened. We are so grateful and fortunate for continued growth that's kept our business healthy from a financial standpoint. I think the last number I've heard, we've hired north of 35 new employees
Wow.
from last January to today.
That's quite a jump.
So it is. And go back to culture, like now we're adding folks into our culture
Who can't even
that
onboard like on site and yeah.
exactly. So part of our onboarding would be one of the things we do is you put an order in as a new employee, no matter where you're working in the organization, and then you got to follow that order throughout its process.
Oh, cool.
Now you put the order in, but you can't actually
Yeah.
follow through where it's going. So there's been a lot of ways we've pivoted and made it work, but it's been challenging, and there have been struggles, no doubt. But we're meeting those challenges and struggles in order to just keep everybody safe. We're doing great on vaccinations. Those things are all extremely helpful. We give people paid time to go get a vaccination and then to recover if needed from the vaccination. So um, we know better days are ahead, but
Yeah.
in the moment that we're in together, it's really been an effort for all of us to communicate really well and keep connected while we've really been
Yeah.
disconnected. So
And what about for you personally? What has the pandemic been like for you, and what are some things you're involved with outside of work?
The
Two different
pandemic,
questions, but they go together.
yes. The early days of the pandemic, I can tell you, not knowing what was going to happen with our business were, I mean, tears in my eyes. Like, are we going to lose hold of our business like many people that own businesses and run businesses? It was daunting and shocking. Our V shape, once it just really turned, and the backside of that V shape was like a steep climb. And oh my goodness, into May, we were still year over year growth was exponential. So I feel like we did a really good job navigating what our downside planning was going to be. We never had to activate that downside plan, but that downside plan was built on every giant keeps their job. And so we didn't have to go to any of the measures we would need to in order to keep that true, meaning salary reductions for myself and others, until we hit that upturn. Um, so it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Personally, I'm in my garage right now, we've reconfigured the garage into flexible space. I live in Boulder, Colorado. It's kind of a Boulder thing to actually do flex space in your garage.
Yeah.
Um, and my 31-year-old daughter lived with us when the pandemic started, and she's moved since. So we used to hang out here with masks on so we could watch a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
But we're a little bit on the other side of that, so that's feeling good personally. Um, and I'm a mindful awareness and meditation teacher, and so I've continued to practice a lot and offer support to others around how to stay in difficult times and be able to hold that difficult time. I think a lot of what the pandemic has done for me is pointed back to we as human beings don't like discomfort. Um, and the pandemic made us all
Very
uncomfortable
uncomfortable.
on varying levels. So
Yeah.
I do want to say, like, um, underrepresented people have struggled much more. People of color, LGBT folks, really have struggled in ways that we would never understand as people of privilege that have a garage to actually put flex space into, right? So I also want to acknowledge that I feel so grateful and fortunate. And we've done a lot at Sticker Giant. I've done that personally also to really support from a community standpoint. We have a community team that's been very focused on the human services aspect of making sure that we're doing everything we can to support others that don't have access to the same things that we do.
Yeah. I think it's easy, especially as people who are higher up in business, to focus on the business impact of COVID. But truly, there is an interpersonal element of that. I mean, obviously, as people, we all were affected, but the relationships and the support networks, all of that. I
Yeah,
appreciate that you touch on that because it definitely it matters a lot.
it matters so much. And, we've had people go through the human side of life in their personal lives, right? And they're remote, right? And
Yeah.
it's just we've had people lose family members and just different life experiences, get married and get engaged and have babies and just all the human elements of life that COVID has put this buffer between
Yeah.
how we would celebrate and in some cases grieve together, right?
Yeah. It's yeah, the same kind of thing. I've had friends and family members get married and you're like, you want to witness those elements just kind of as like a human experience. You want to be a witness. And now it's like, well, I'll see you over Zoom. So
Yeah. Yeah.
not really.
So I think some of it's the both ends of life, right? Of like what we desire to celebrate together and then how we want to support each other when we're going through hardship. And certainly we've had to get creative around that from a company standpoint. And then me personally also is like, where am I donating money to? And how am I spending my time that would help support folks that need that kind of support?
Yeah. And I think an upside of it is you do get more personal aspects in an unexpected way. Like, I would have never seen your garage before, but now I've
There you
gotten a
go.
grand
There
tour.
you go. Exactly, exactly.
Pros
Yeah.
and cons, pros and cons. Well, I thank you so much for sitting down with me today and giving us a glimpse into Sticker Giant, and congratulations again on your new position. It was just so lovely to talk to you today.
Yeah, wonderful to talk with you. Jordan, thanks for being an ally. around people with difference. I appreciate that so much, and just appreciate having this time with you.
Of course. And everyone, if you ever need gifts or anything, hit up Sticker Giant. They've got a gift for whatever you may need.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and make sure to click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. You can see more videos from this playlist by clicking the video on the right or click the video on the left to see all of our other videos.